Welcome, everybody, to Mind, Body, and Soul with Joanne here on Witchcraft TV Tarot. You are watching www.witchcrafttv.online and the Lone Wolf outside of the Redwood Forest in a vehicle as we continue our trek from California. And this is Joanne, our lovely Mind, Body, and Soul, has a degree in psychology and reading oracle for the community at large. How are you, Joanne?
I am very well, thank you. And I'm happy to be here. We were debating whether to go live, but I think Spirit was pushing us with the climate out there to keep, we're on the move. Ain't no stopping us. We gotta keep that message going forward to keep the vibe high. And today I am actually focusing on today's stream on how to raise the vibe. And I am working today with the Raise Your Vibration Oracle. If anybody wants an Oracle card pull from this deck, I will start, after Harold gives us a summary of what he's doing with a pull for the collective. So what's been going on, Harold? You've been up to a lot of great things.
Yeah, we've had great guests on the network. We had Mr. Oberondell talking about the propaganda of 2025 and got in contact with a great conglomeracy of pagan elders that are making a difference in the community. If you haven't seen that, check that out. We're also down there in Southern California working with Phoenix Warriors Rising, where they went to meet with real estate investors to try to build better communities for marginalized communities. And things went good. And we're going to be talking to the person all behind that shortly in a different, on Witchcraft TV News. We are outside the Redwood Forest. If I do connection, buffering, good stuff. The Lone Wolf show after we had some hacking discrepancies. We had some hacking discrepancies on Witchcraft TV, and those are now replenished, and they're back up on the station. And to flex a little bit of celebration, we have a Lone Wolf show marathon running on the station as of right now for the past 24 hours. Other than that, we're just doing great. If we lose connection, I kindly ask you to, take the wheel. Great. So how's it been going astrologically? What's going on in the community?
Well, we have a lot of things coming up. We just came out of that new full moon and that planetary alignment. We also have that 3/3 portal that's going on. But the message right now for the collective, as far as raising that vibration that we're going to pull, is, oh, hello, Edwina. We are going to living with purpose brings prosperity. And that's a powerful message, because in life, what do we have but our purpose? We always ask, why am I here? What am I put here to do? And, the Spirit leads us with that. Whether you call it God, creator, whatever you choose to follow, it's that inner light. And Spirit operates from the heart. The ego operates from the mind. So basically, if your mind is trying to take control, that's the part of you that says, no, you can't do that. That little divine spark of inspiration, like, I want to do this nice thing today for somebody. And that thing is telling you, your ego's like, no, our budget and this and that. And, this card is telling you that to live with a purpose, it brings prosperity. If you do what you love and you follow what you love, that's what's going to come into your life. And right now, to raise the vibe, what you need to do is follow your purpose. What are you guided to do? And believe in that. And you're going to get all that divine energy surrounding you, that divine light. And that's very important right now, especially in the times that we live in, is to have a purpose. What are you going to do to help the situation out there? Because everybody's afraid. Everybody, I keep hearing the word fear, and you don't want to operate from fear. You want to operate from spirit, which is from the heart. Spirit, God, creator, always operates from the heart. So if you're operating from there, you can't go wrong. Even if it's just living by example. People like Harold and I and several other people were doing different things to help bring people and give them ideas, on what they can do, big or small, because what you put out, what you have inside of you is what's going to manifest. And if you have fear in you, you're going to manifest more fear, and you don't want that, So as hard as it is, we have to operate from the perspective of love. And I'm not saying, again, be all love and light 24/7. That's not humanly possible. But it's what you do with that energy is what matters, right? So instead of doing something negative with that energy, take that energy and do something positive with it, whatever that may be, even if it's just feeding a stray cat. Lead by example. I keep getting that message from my guides. Embody what you want to see in the world. Be a power of example, a leader. That's being a leader. Even when everything's going crazy, you've got you take a step back and you walk the higher ground. And sometimes that's hard, especially hard when you're afraid. But everything we want is on the other side of fear, and that's a big message that I get. Focus on what you can do. It doesn't have to be big and complicated,
You mentioned the whole prospects of, people in the community are scared. They're fearful. I think, a lot of the political shifting that's been going on, people are kind of like, they don't know what to do. And what can we do, especially for, the next wave of what is our community,
And to answer that question, you do what you know how to do. You know what I mean?
The elders try to find a resource. Like, what can we do?
Yeah, and my thing is, we're out there putting out ideas. I'm here to help give solutions, to help people raise their vibration, and that's our purpose, to do what we know to do. So, like I said, you may feel like, oh, I'm not a podcaster, or I'm not a TV person, but it doesn't mean you have to do that. It's, small attainable goals lead to success. Every journey is one step at a time, and it looks like we might be losing Harold. So I'll be on my own. Oops, he's gone. He'll be back. But we do what we know to do. Our purpose is what we know how to do. If your purpose is cooking, cook up a nice meal for somebody who's hurting, who's afraid, who's lost somebody. If your purpose is rescuing animals, do more of that. Do more of the good things, because, we need to put out the energy we want to see. And if we want to see kindness and compassion, we have to embody that.
And we are back, and it looks like we're back. I apologize for the internet connection. We do have buffering. I am traveling outside of the Redwood Forest. And I would like to welcome Jamie Lynn Denton all the way to Reno, Nevada, if the streams can hear us. Jamie Lynn Denton, thank you for joining Mind, Body, and Soul. Fire Jewel Howard, all the way from Reno as well. Thank you for joining Mind, Body, and Soul. Edwina Arrington Safford, hello, friend. Blessed to be. Thank you for joining Mind, Body, and Soul. Are we back? Can we hear it? Were you still on the streams when I lost connection?
It said I was live, so I may or may not be. If anybody in the audience wants to say they were listening to me babble by myself, all scared.
Well, absolutely. We're doing our very best to bring you the best, update and the best, shows that we can. And I encourage other people in the community to, have other shows too. We need more. And that's kind of a message that Selena Fox gave with an interview with Witches and Wine with Lola Stardust there, is that more is better. This is
Yeah.
the time. This is the time when the community unites and we come together. All the infighting, it needs to stop. We do. We look for our pioneers and our leaders to give us guidance, and this is what they're telling us.
Mhm.
What can we do but stand on the shoulders of giants, and stand on the shoulders of wisdom? Absolutely. Fire Jewel Howard, thank you so much for joining Mind, Body, and Soul. Joanne has a master's degree in psychology. She has a show on Witchcraft TV with the lovely Jim Sayers called Inside the Sacred Circle. She also has Joyful Empowerment. If you like an oracle reading, let us know and we can make that happen.
I will definitely pull a card to see what you need to focus on to raise your vibe. And now we have a lot of big astrological activity coming up. We have Venus retrograde coming up as well as Mercury retro. Actually, I think Mercury is in pre-shadow right now. We also have 2 eclipses this month, 4 Kazimis, an equinox coming, and Neptune and Aries at the end of the month represent that shift from water energy to fire. So you're going to see a lot of action, emotion and action happening. Right now we're in the emotional phase, the water, the fear, I'm scared. And, we're coming up on the action phase. So what does this mean? The 6th house is Virgo in the South Node. A lot of places we are being provoked in. So the focus now is what's provoking you and why. Why is it provoking you? And that 3rd house energy is also coming in, which is going to tell us how we get along with people. We need to focus on how we get along with people. My dad used to say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm learning that right now because you can get a lot more with sugar than you can with vinegar, right? Unless you're a fruit fly, they like vinegar. But how you get along with people, not just in romantic relationships, or friendships, but in the business community, in our business relationships, in our careers, in just our daily interactions with people. We want to focus on how to get along and how to communicate better, right? How can you better communicate what you're trying to say? And sometimes that consists of just sitting there and holding space for somebody. Sometimes you don't have to say anything, but the key is you don't want to go down that rabbit hole that's going to get you all into that lower vibration, right? So also with Venus, you might have some health, it's a good time to look at your health issues, revisiting health issues, how to better, stay hydrated. What are you putting in your body? Are you eating right? Are you taking time for spiritual practice? All these things. You're going to be fit, and you know, relationships in these areas are going to be tricky right now. When Venus goes retrograde, a lot of things come to a head. And most people think romantically, but it's not just romantically. A lot of unclear communication comes with a retrograde, as you know. So you're going to have to watch what you say. Like, really, before you speak, I hate using that word because it's overused, but take that mindful moment right now to step back and be like, do I really want to say that? Do I really want to send that text? Is this the tone I want to manifest? Is this the response I want to get? I don't know if Carol's frozen. Are you frozen?
Yeah, I was frozen for a little bit. And one of our viewers said that when I was frozen, they can hear you perfectly.
Oh, thank you. And they can probably hear my dog perfectly. My dog feels it's the perfect time to voice her opinion.
So because of connection issues, we're going to have a shorter show, I think, for Mind, Body, and Soul for tonight for Monday. But let's
Can you
hit
quiet
a
her
couple
down?
commercials and we'll be
Give her
right back.
something, please. Sorry.
Do you feel something huge on the horizon?
Oh, absolutely. We're in for very big changes with the changes of the nodes and as a collective. We've been talking about this a lot in the ISFM in our morning group that we need to make room for what's coming in, because what's coming in is not what we're used to. And we have to be open to that change. And what is it with most people? We resist change, because it's fear. We'd rather stick with what we know, even if it's toxic sometimes, because we know how to navigate that. Toxic is familiar, and as sick as that sounds, we tend to do that a lot of times as people. It's like, because people are like, oh, why do people always go back to their ex? Or why do they stay in that bad relationship? Because, again, with these weird word analogies, the devil you know is better than the devil you know.
Welcome back to Mind, Body, and Soul with Tarot. Go ahead, Joanne.
Oh, no, I'm sorry for that weird interruption there. But we're looking at also, the moon just moved into Taurus today, which is about creativity and visceral intuition. So we need to really slow down and listen to our sacral chakra, which is your gut. Pay attention to what your gut says at all times, because it's going to give you what you need, right? It's going to tell you what you need. Do your mantras, pray, respect your vessel. Try and avoid gaslighting situations. You know what I mean? Trust and pay attention to the signs. If you feel like someone's gaslighting you or whatever, trust that intuition. If you feel something's off, trust that intuition. If you feel something is good, trust. Right now is a time where you really need to learn to listen to your body as well as your mind and how it feels and how it coordinates together. So we just need to remember that everything we need is inside of us. Did I lose Harold again? I think he froze. I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties tonight, but like I said, we wanted to get whatever messages we could out to help people and help them understand what's going on out there in the, a lot of crazy energy planetarily and just collectively, as people. People are amped up, they're stressed, they're fearful, and people sense that and feel that. And it spreads, and it's up to us and it's work. It takes daily work to keep that vibe higher. I know for me, I have to keep a strict practice because I'm not in the driver's seat. I can't control what goes on around me. I can't even control what goes on in my world. If you think about it, you know, we like to think we're in control, but we know who's ultimately in control. God, the gods, the universe, creator, spirit, whatever you choose to call it. These are the things that are, you know, what's holding us together and what's giving us that little bit of peace and serenity. You know, we need to and we need to resort back that. We need, you know, sometimes go back to basics. You know, surround yourself with people that support your goals, your messages, your purpose. You know, the beginning card we pulled was about having a purpose. And, you know, purpose is different things for different people, you know. It can be, like I said, it can range from doing something really nice for somebody and just being a good person. And you see that neighbor who's going through a tough time, maybe, you know, bring them some muffins or some cookies if you bake. If you cook, you know, bring something down to the local fire department. These guys are stressed with all the fires and you know, natural things going on outside. These are things that they are trying to work on. And they're, you know, they're surrounded in their own stress. So by uplifting others, you know, Wayne Stalgrove says it best: when you empower others, you empower yourself. So by being good to other people, you're raising that energy inside of you. You're empowering yourself, and that gets you to do more, and it grows, you know, because what you carry inside of you is eventually what manifests outside of you. Like I said, I limit your social media feeds. Very important. I limit it to the morning and at night. I can't be off of socials completely because of what I do, obviously online, but I limit my time. In the morning, I go on, I post some things. I might go on during the day. I might go on again at night. It all depends on what I'm doing. So these are all things that you can do. Spend time with your family. If you have the ability, get out in nature and do some things out in nature to help you feel better. Whatever it takes to help you manifest that positive vibration. And like I said, purpose, if your purpose is just to be a good person, that's enough to guide you in the right direction right there. Like I said, it doesn't have to be all fancy and whatnot. You know, it can be, like I was saying before we had all the interruptions, small attainable goals help you reach your destination, right? Or, you know, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with the first one, right? So you're not, you know, you might not think you're impacting anything, but you are, you know. We impact others every day by our actions, by how we project ourselves into the world. You know, just listening to somebody, that person in the grocery store aisle that's frustrated and, you know, is like, or, you know, or that mom that's, you know, stressed out with the kid crying. Be encouraging, be positive, be understanding, you know. These little things help. And, you know, if everybody just did one good thing a day or reciprocated one good thing a day, imagine the results you would get. You know, it's about quality, not so much as quantity. It doesn't have to be a big display of, you know, of power and of, you know, I'm doing this, you know, and I want to be seen. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that complicated. And, you know, again, look at yourself. If you're feeling stressed, say, what is triggering me right now? This is why I recommend the journaling thing, which again gets overly complicated by people. Journaling can be as simple as, like, you open your journal and you're like, hey, I'm done for today, you know? And what happens is when you look back over your journals and things like that, even if it's just a dream journal, you're going to notice patterns and different things that trigger you. What was happening at that time that you felt that way? What made you feel that emotion? Was it a newscast? Was it something somebody said to you? Was it how somebody treated somebody else? And you're going to start to notice patterns. And what will happen is you'll start to develop healthy ways to not go down the rabbit holes. You know what I mean? To divert that energy in a more positive way instead of lashing out. You know, we all get scared of things and we all get nervous. You know, I'm nervous all the time. I have a 21-year-old daughter, you know, and I worry every day. You know, what is the future going to bring for her? You know, this world, you know, we all have these thoughts. And at the end of the day, what we all want is we all want to be able to come home, hug our families, be together, have a nice meal, have a safe place to stay, be able to go to the doctor without it being a whole barrage of, do I have insurance? Don't I have insurance? You know, we want to provide our kids with the tools they need to become positive role models in the world. These are all the things we want. And it doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, whether you're in Ukraine, whether you're in Russia, whether you're in the Middle East, wherever you are, that common goal is something that we all strive for. When I was doing my undergrad, I had a teacher and we did a Skype with a classroom. He got the idea from somebody else that was doing it. I don't know who. I think he saw it online. And we did a Skype with a classroom in the Middle East. And what we learned from this exercise was that the everyday people there are just like us. At the end of the day, they want what's best for their families. They want their kids to prosper. They want to have a safe place to stay. And what we got to understand is it's these big powers that be that create all these situations. It's us, the people, we, the people that, you know, we're just trying to get through to the next week, you know, because we got to get that rent paid. We got to get that electric bill paid. We have to, you know, go with the grind. You know, we're focused on living life. And it's hard and it gets frustrating because it feels like you're beating a dead horse sometimes. You know, like, you know, everybody's worrying about these things. And it's like, God, I'm worried about, will I have heat next week? And we need to look at that. We need to remember these things, that everybody has a struggle. You don't have to just focus on the big struggle out there. You know, focus on your community. I think Oberon was saying that in his message the other night. Focus on your local community. What can you do? You know, go volunteer at the youth center to work with at-risk youth. Listen to a kid. Ask how they're feeling. That's all they want, is to be heard and to be validated. Ask them, hey, how are you feeling? How are you doing? And really listen. And just listen. That's all they want. They want some validation that they may or may not get at home. The struggle is real. You know, we always forget our kids in these struggles, you know. We don't want them to see us angry and scared and you know, ready to go to battle. You know, we want them to see us empowered and strong and being a good parent, a good leader, you know. And what does a good leader do? They empower the people around them, not just themselves, because by empowering those people, they become empowered. And right now, our government, if you look at it in that type of structure, is not empowering its people. And I think that's not just a problem in the US, it's a problem everywhere right now, that governments don't empower the people. They're about themselves. They're the ones, you know, they're not the ones going out to fight the war at the end of the day. They're not the ones that are, you know, away from their families, are at risk of, you know, being severely hurt, if not killed. You know, and they're not the ones on the front line. They're just in an office saying, all right, this is what we're going to do. And they're safe and sound. And we're the ones out there that are living the ordeal, you know? So we need to collectively come together. United, we stand, you know, and so many prophecies, you know, Red Eagle posts a lot of things. You know, you can look up any of these prophecies, Royce Gay, the Lakota prophecies, the Hopi prophecies. You know, these are tough times right now, and tough times call for unity. It doesn't matter your color, your religion, your sexuality. We're humans. We're humans. We're all human beings. We all feel, we all cry, we all love, and we all get scared. And we need to remember that about each other, because in the long run, that's who we're going to have to rely on. We can't rely on the government. And I'm not a fan of either party. I hate politics in general. I think they're all crooked. Democrat, Republican. I want to make my own party, the pissed off people party. And my color would be purple, and I'd have a rescue pit bull as my icon. But, in the world of reality, I do what I can. And what I'm trying to do is hopefully give people ideas and solutions on how to not just tread water, but how to get that vibration up there. If not for ourselves, for the sake of the people around us, the elderly, how are they faring in this struggle? We always forget about the elders. They need help. Just go visit someone at a rest home or a senior center. Just volunteer a little bit of time. Help an older person at the grocery store. Pay for the person behind you's coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. All these little things make amazing differences in people's lives. All these things are wonderful things that you can do that are small, that are attainable, and that are reasonable goals. I always tell people I work with, what's one thing you can do today to get closer to that goal that you want to achieve? Whatever that may be. One small thing. Even if it's like, all right, I'm just going to look up job descriptions, or I'm going to look up different programs to teach me that thing that I want to learn. Whatever that goal may be, do one small thing that will bring you closer to that goal. Even if it's just a phone call, a little bit of research on the internet, whatever you can manage in your day. It doesn't have to be huge, because we all have a million things we got to do in a day. What are some other topics and things you can do? I tell people, do one nice thing for yourself after that, as what I tell a lot of the people I work with. Do one nice thing for yourself. It doesn't have to be big. It can be as simple as buying yourself a Klondike bar. It can be, going to a movie, having junk food if you're on a diet, have your cheat day. Do one nice thing for yourself. Doesn't have to be super huge. Watch that series on Netflix that you've been wanting to watch. Spend that time with your kid doing the tea party, or playing with Barbies, whatever it is. We don't have to have such huge visions on what we need to do. And I'm going to check the chat, because I don't get to see how he sees. Angela says, I have a very short fuse when I feel people look at my kindness as weakness. Kindness is not weakness. Kindness is strength. Think about it. Think about it, Angela. How hard is it in today's times, when someone and everybody is in a mood, to be kind? Think about that. How hard is that? That's extremely difficult. So I don't think you're weak at all. I'd say you're strong, because it's so easy to be petty, right? We can so easily go into that dark space. So no, you are not weak, Angela, not at all. And don't ever feel that way. We're going to get my dog a piece of cheese while I talk to you, because I don't know why she's vocal. The bear might be out there. It is, we do have that happening around here. But yes, surround the kitchen with Joanne. But seriously, we as a collective need to do better. And you're definitely not weak. I think it takes a lot of strength. Let's see. I'm going to check some more comments. Jamie Lynn Denton says, I do a lot of volunteering with our local Irish and Scottish clans. That's also very beautiful too. Let's see. Yes, once you read that journal a year after you wrote it, or even 6 months later, you can reflect. That's what GC says about journaling. Angela says, I feel like I need to focus on my positive energy on people who appreciate it. Well, yes, that is definitely something that you do, but you also, I like to just do it across the board, right? Turnaround is fair play, because you never know who you can change or affect by doing that. You know, somebody can be a jerk and you'll be like, okay, you can feel that way. And, but that's not for me. And, that's okay. Agree to disagree, right? Because, down the line, it's hard. I'm not saying if somebody is abusive and hurtful to you to be good to them, that's not the message here. But overall, I try to just, be nice to everybody, even if they're in a mood, and believe me, 20 years ago, that was not me. I would go with you tit for tat on that, today I didn't want to come on, I was frustrated. I had a bad day. I have plumbing issues going on and my maintenance guy didn't show up. And next thing you know, I can't cook dinner. I couldn't get ready like I wanted to for the things I was doing. I had a class in between, all these things. And it's, it's stressful and it's hard, but we take it one little bit at a time. I've learned, my mentor, Mark, used to tell me all the time, Joanne, you need to go with the flow. And boy, did I get mad at him when he would say that. I'd be like, go with the flow, and now I understand what he means, sometimes you just got to ride with it. You can't keep trying to drill a square peg into a round hole. So if something's not working for you that you keep trying to do, maybe that's not that thing you should be doing, right? Maybe put the focus somewhere else. You can't, if you're working with somebody or you're trying to help somebody and they don't want your help, sometimes you just have to walk away from that and put that elsewhere, and say, look, I understand where you're coming from, but I can't, I don't think I can help you with this problem right now, and maybe, refer them to somebody who can. But again, like I said, it's not necessarily what you say. It's how you say it. You can set a boundary, right? You don't have to be mean about it, you can just set that boundary and go about your day. I do it all the time. I wake up, I'm like, I'm not going to let sketchy, negative energy affect my day, And when it starts to come my way and I feel it come my way, I'm like, okay, time to move in another direction. And I, excuse myself, or I say, I have, sorry, I have something, an appointment I got to get to or whatever. But where I'm going. You can circumvent the situation. Wayne says it a lot more eloquently than I do, but that's what he used to tell me. He'd be like, you don't have to sit there and listen to it. You can easily say like, okay, I understand how you feel. It's all right, but that's not for me. And walk away. And that's been a hard thing for me to do, because I think a lot of us, especially women and some men too, we're people pleasers. We want everybody to be happy. We want our family to be happy, our husbands, our wives, our kids, our bosses, and who do we forget in the equation when we're doing this? Who do we forget? We forget about ourselves, right? So you have to make that time for yourself, because, it's so easy. I hate to use the pour from the empty cup adage here, but that is very important. You can't give if you don't have anything in you to give, right? If you don't have a heart full of love, how are you going to put out love, right? If you have, you're going to put out what's in there. And if it's empty, you have nothing. And if it's full of, battery acid and anger, that's what you're going to put out there. And it's hard. And like I said, I am not an all love and light person. I go through moods. I just try not to live in them. And I ask myself, why am I feeling this type of way? And I just did a class tonight with the beautiful Divana Wolf. She is a devotee of Yeshe, and she is a priestess at the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. And we were talking about ways to connect with the goddess energy at this time, and different things we can do. Write an invocation to your goddess, or a poem, or a prayer, or God, or, the angels, or whoever you work with. Prayer is a powerful tool. And talking to our ancestors, to God, to, whatever you choose, creator, whatever you choose to call it, that is important. Prayer is important, however form it takes. And it looks like my Harold came back. Hi, buddy.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh my gosh. It's so weird talking by myself, and I can't see the comments like you do. So, hi, Poppy.
I can't see it either.
It's always a pleasure. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Angela. She says that since I have been following your podcast, I try to follow these, and I feel like it made a difference in my heart and mind. Oh, and thank you so much. Thank you for validating, because I always wonder, I'm like, I'm just Joanne. What do I possibly have to say? But I try, because I want everybody to vibe higher. I want people to feel good. I don't want them to be afraid, of what's to come. I want people to focus on what matters. That's the message I get from working with my spirits every day. Focus on what matters, what you can control. And sometimes that's something big, and sometimes that's something small. Do what you can, follow your purpose, whatever that purpose may be. If your purpose is to be a great chef, then cook wonderful meals. Maybe feed the homeless once in a while. Whatever it takes, just be a good person. This is what we need more of today. We need to be understanding. We need to be patient with each other, and don't go down the rabbit holes. It's so easy to go down those rabbit holes, I can't go down those rabbit holes all day. I have a family, I have other things that I do, and I can't get stuck in a spiral of, oh my God, I just, whatever the day brings, I try to deal with it as best as I can, small attainable goals. Sometimes that small attainable goal is getting my laundry done. Sometimes that small attainable goal is, booking a great guest for a podcast, or finding a message to give to people. And I hope I'm talking sense. I'm going to go look at comments again. GZ said, I feed the homeless on a daily basis. I feel it is part of my purpose in life. And that is a beautiful purpose, G. That is a wonderful way to help people. Jamie, welcome back, Lone Wolf. Poppy Oshun, well, here you are, here giving us proof, overcoming obstacles and staying in alignment. Thank you, Poppy. Let's see, it's always a pleasure to see you. You might have on people. We appreciate your time and sharing your knowledge. Oh, well, thank you. I'm just nervous because I'm on here by myself. I'm usually have somebody with me, so I wasn't too prepared. Let's see. G says, I agree. One must always think on how to definitely create boundaries. It took me some time to understand it, but I will not allow anyone to steal my joy or exchange energy with ones whom are vampire draining energy suckers. That's another thing. Yes, absolutely. People that drain your energy. That is a big thing. And every day and every night, I had a wise friend, Neptune Triton, told me, Joanne, every night before you go to bed, you need to call back your power. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, call back that energy. He's like, people suck that energy from you without your permission. And he's like, call back all that energy you've put out there that is no longer being served, that you put out with your permission, and also especially call back the energy that is taken from you without your control. You know, the negative energy people, and they are out there. And basically every night I do a little ditty do that says, you know, I call back my energy. I call back my personal power. Anybody that's taking away my energy or sending me energy that is no good, I take it, I transmute it, I send it through the earth, the air, the fire, the water, and I bring it back to myself to use for my highest good. You know, you can burn a candle, you can meditate. There's 1,000 things. Let's see. Katie said, can you read me? Yep, I'll pull a card for you. Let me just look at the messages. Always filling someone's pantry. That's beautiful, Jamie. That's beautiful. Angela, this I need to hear. Well, thank you. Like I said, I'm kind of unscripted. I would have come on with a better plan if I was alone. Welcome back, Lone Wolf. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. Be a great mom with gratitude and patience. Absolutely, Katie. That is so important. Our kids are very important. I'll take some pasta. I miss your cooking. I make a nice balance of work, study, and with family and friends. That's right, Jamie. Balance is another key factor. Absolutely. Staying in balance is hard. You know, we teeter over the edge, you know, whether it's too much social media. You know, my grandmother used to say, too much of a good thing isn't good either, you know? So we'll go there. Hopefully, Katie, you're still out there, and I'll pull a card for you. My dog's looking at me. I've been feeding her pieces of salami. She's spoiled, so she doesn't bark at whatever's outside. Probably some wild animal. But anyways, what does Katie need to do to raise her vibrations? We call upon the pantheons of the divine, her ancestors, her spirit guides. What does she need to work on to raise her vibration? Raise your vibration is a mantra that calls me to light up. Raise your vibration. So what this is saying is, and what is a mantra? It is something you tell yourself every day, right? You know, my mantra is some days just do it, you know, and I have to force myself to do it. So to raise your vibration, I use the mantra vibe higher. So you could use that as a way. But for you, what you're going to want to look at is positive ways to raise your vibration and keep it at a higher level. So that's going to take work, especially where you have your daughter. And I know she has, you know, like Amanda, she has her little quirks, and that can be difficult. And what you want to do is try not to get embroiled in all the chaos around you, and just keep saying to yourself, raise your vibration, Katie. Vibe higher. Vibe higher. When you feel yourself starting to get like, step back and go, how can I vibe higher? What can I do to make this situation better? And that's where this comes in. And it's so important, you know, that we really be mindful of what we're doing. We have to pay attention to our minds, our body, and our spirit, you know. That's very important. It looks like Harold's back.
Yeah, I'm back, and I just keep cutting in and out because we're on the outside of the Redwood Forest. We'll be there in about 2 more hours. Thank you so much, Joanne, for doing such a great job here. At some point, we need to have a cutoff because somebody has to be able to end the live. And while we're online, I can end it now. But thank you so much for doing such a great job, Joanne.
All right. Let me just, is there anybody else in the chat that wanted anything before I cut off? Let's see. Thank you. Yes. I truly appreciate you very much. You have helped me. And so, thank you, G. You are doing great and holding it down. Thanks, Jamie. All right. Well, and thank you, Poppy, for coming in. Poppy's one of my mentors, always pushing me to do better. And thank you, Harold, for always, and the other people that believe in me.
Doing our very best here. I'm only one person, and in the midst of traveling right now to make pagan community stronger and just trying to keep going with the network. Thank you so much, Joanne, for pushing me and saying the show must go on.
Oop, wait a minute. Angela said she would like a card pull. Can I do a quick card pull for her?
Yeah,
I'll go fast.
absolutely.
I'll go
I may
fast.
cut out.
If you cut out, I'll log off, or do you want me to wait for you?
Please wait, because I've never encountered not being able to do the show. I've been kicked off offline.
All right, Angela. Your card, I love it. My high vibes help the world heal. And that's a very powerful statement. So the energy that you put out there is going to help other people. What you put out and what you do, even though you might feel it's small, it spreads. Wayne Snellgrove tells me all the time, Joanne, the choices you make today don't just affect you. They have ripple effects that affect the next 7 generations. You're changing the narrative by the choices you make today. So by vibing higher, you are changing the world. And you may feel like you're not powerful, like you said earlier. You feel like you're not empowered, that it's weak to be kind. You're wrong. That is your superpower, and don't ever forget it. You still with me, Harold? All right. Well, he wanted me to wait, so we'll wait a minute here. Anyone else want a card? Yep, I got them both. Oh, you're welcome, Angela. You're welcome. He wanted me to wait on here. Anybody else have any questions or anything any advice they want me to give while I'm waiting for Harold? GZ, you always want a card. All right, G, I'll pull one for you right now. And hopefully Harold will come back on. Honesty is the best policy. And what a powerful card that is. The power of truth. Always stand in your truth. And I like to say, and I say it all the time about myself, I am unapologetically, authentically me. What you see is what you get, and what I say is what I mean. So always stand in your truth, and always stand on the side of truth. It'll never fail you. So stick to that aspect of yourself. Be honest, be true. That is your superpower. That is what's going to raise your vibration. And, I know that's a powerful statement with all the things that you have been going through right now. Remember the truth, your truth. Standing in truth will never let you down. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes we don't like to see our truth. But sometimes facing our truth and being honest with ourselves, like, hey, why am I mad at that person? Oh, why is that person rubbing me the wrong way? And sometimes you look at yourself and it's like, because sometimes we want what that person has, not in an envious way, but it's, something we want to empower in ourselves, and we don't feel we can achieve it for whatever reason. But in this case, it's standing in truth, and that's your power. And that's what makes you you, and that's what makes you beautiful. Wow, that's wild. A dimensional web. Like, was it, did it look like a portal of any kind? Um, that could just be a communication portal opening up. How do you feel around it? Does it make you nervous? Like, what energy are you feeling? Are you afraid of it? Is it a bright light? Usually to me, webs are Metatron. Like those geometric shapes. Is it more like when you say web like is it dimensional, like a geometrical shape? Because a lot of times that is angelic realms. But I will definitely do some research on that for you, and I will get back to you on that in your inbox about a web. Just let me know what it looks like. Hold on, let me see what you said. It had lots of odd shapes. It scared me. Yes. Like what kind? So dimensional shapes, like geometric shapes and things like that. Okay. I'm not getting that it's anything bad. I think it's something trying to communicate with you. Have you ever thought of opening up to your spirit guides? Do you have a spirit guide at all? Or an angel, an angel that you work with or anything like that? Because a lot of times they could just be sending messages. And if you're afraid of it, there's definitely ways that you can close it up. Definitely put salt around, and be firm. I don't want you here. If you feel you need a priest or a magical person to help you. But it looks like Harold is coming back. But definitely we will chat about this, Angela, on the side after the show. And we'll let Harold close out the show.
Thank you so much for coming on Witchcraft TV. Great job, Joanne. Thank you. Keep it right here next week for Mind, Body, and Soul, www.witchcrafttv.online. Fair representation for all pagan witch and magic paths.
Oh, you disconnected and now my service comes up.
We're still live.
Sorry.